drums. You want to get in on the house flipping hustle? Of course you do. All your fixer-upper dreams come true, right? Well, sure, maybe. It's a common dream for seasoned homeowners to think about investment properties, but turning your real estate daydreams into a cash flow positive business isn't easy. It takes some careful planning and consideration. Here's everything you need to know to start flipping. Let's get the basics out of the way, shall we? Simply, house flipping is when you take a rundown property, fix it up, and resell it for a profit. The most profitable flips are bought as foreclosures, short sales, or property auctions. But sometimes a motivated seller will hand you a great deal on a house that needs little to no elbow grease. No matter the circumstances, if you're in the flipping game, the principle is the same. Buy low, sell higher, and as fast as possible. If you get good at it, flipping houses can be a lucrative and exciting business. Assembling a team of contractors, sharking out great deals in hot neighborhoods, taking a rundown place and turning it into something a family would love. Sounds like a blast to me. But that doesn't mean it's all wood varnish and fresh coats of paint. Flipping houses is work, and it's all too easy to buy a lemon. But if you do end up with a dud, you may be stuck selling at a loss or be forced to sit on the house longer than you planned. But don't worry, I know why you're here, advice, and I got you. First things first, how do you know if a flip is even worth it? Simple, the 70% rule. We call it a rule, but it's more of a guideline you should follow. The rule states that you should never spend more than 70% of what you think you can sell the home for after you do your renovations. This is called the after repair value, or ARV for short. Here's the rule in practice. Take your ARV, multiply it by 0.7, then subtract the estimated renovation and repairs costs. The number you get is the most you should spend on your new home. Keep this number in mind throughout the entire process. To make the 70% rule actually work, you'll need to be realistic with both your ARV and your estimate of how much repairs will cost. Say you estimate a $220,000 ARV, but properties in the neighborhood are selling just for $190,000. Well, you may not make the profit you expect, or maybe your repair estimates are way off. You say $40,000 and then end up spending $60,000. That extra $20,000 is going to take a big old bite out of your profits. So other than a bunch of math, what else do you need to consider before you start flipping? Good question. You don't have to be a professional contractor or reality TV star to flip a home, but bringing a little bit of know-how to the table definitely helps. Whether it's construction experience, interior design chops, or real estate knowledge, what you can do for yourself is the difference between a flip and a flop. I'm stating the obvious, but the more you can do yourself, the less you have to contract out. That's more money in your pocket and the key to any good flip. Next up, know the neighborhood. Location matters a lot. You want to find your fixer-upper in or near a high-demand area. Look at comparable homes nearby and recent sale prices. You might find a good deal in a part of town with a slumping market, and you'll be stuck with a property you can't sell. So don't skimp on conducting detailed research of the neighborhood in which you want to buy, the average sale prices in that neighborhood, and the average cost of renovating a property there. Intimate knowledge of the neighborhood is why most people start flipping homes in the city they live in. Market knowledge can take years to develop though, so if you don't want to wait, then finding a great real estate agent who can provide the expertise is the move. I know a few. Check out the description below for deets. Unless you got a briefcase full of hundreds, the next step is to figure out how you're planning to pay for your first flip. Remember that the house price is just part of the equation, which is why the 70% rule is so important. You'll be paying for all this along the way too. Down payment, property taxes, insurance payments, closing costs, utility costs, marketing costs, real estate agent fees. The first thing you'll need to do is get pre-approved for a loan. If you've bought a home before, this will feel familiar. But the process changes a bit when you're borrowing for business. That's because minimum down payments and interest rates are typically higher when you're buying a home to flip instead of living in it. You'll need a great credit score, and your lender may require a 20% down payment or some type of collateral too. My amazing colleagues at Rocket Mortgage work with house flippers all the time. So if you want to work with a lending company that has your back, just follow the link in the corner of the screen. Deciding to buy a house to flip is hard, but trust in your process. Research the market, get a good idea of how much repairs will be and what you can expect to fix. Estimate your risk, trust in your real estate agent, and buy that house. Chances are you're not the only buyer who sees the opportunity, so make sure you know your cost ceiling based on your 70% estimates. If you get outbid, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. There are plenty more fish in the real estate sea. There will be more opportunities, and you can rest easy knowing you made a smart decision based on your estimates. If you're new to house flipping and have a low budget, you can save yourself some money by adding some elbow grease, or as entrepreneurs call it, sweat equity. This is all the unpaid labor you'll put into the project, the physical labor and mental effort. And let me tell you, there will be a lot. Doing the work yourself may slow down the process, but it's also the best way to gain experience. We all have to start somewhere, right? And finally, list it and flip it. Time is of the essence. The longer the house sits on the market, the less profit you usually make. If everything goes according to plan, you should assume it will take 6 to 12 weeks from buying to flipping a home. After you sell and all is said and done, take a look at all the time and money you spent. Get the most accurate profit number possible and look at every step you took. What would you do differently? What did you learn? Try to make a list of lessons and thoughts you can take into the next flip. Then, you just do it again, and again, and again, and again. And that's how the flipping game works. Whether or not it's right for you depends on so many personal and professional things that only you can know. But if you have the savings and confidence to try, you should. And if you're nervous, remember that the team you assemble along the way is your best security. A good real estate agent who can help spot opportunities in neighborhoods, a great contractor who can give you an honest read on the repairs, and a good loan provider are the 3 most important pieces. If you get that right, you'll be fine. Speaking of which, my amazing friends and colleagues at Rocket Mortgage have the best home loan service in the biz and can point you in the right direction. So if you want to learn more, just head over to Rocket Mortgage now. All the details are in the description below. See you on the flip side. Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, you can click right here. And as always, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.